Hello and welcome back. My name is Katie Hallway. I am the assistant team leader at KW Kansas City Metro. And in our Launch to Legacy podcast, we talk all about what it looks like to really get into real estate, as well as what it takes to build a business. And in this week's episode, we are fortunate enough to talk to one of our fabulous realtors, David Sandvig. David, right off the bat, I want to ask you how you got your start in real estate.
I had an interesting journey into real estate. When I was a senior in high school, I was selling the Cutco kitchen knives.
Oh, really? Okay.
So I had a strategy. I got my high school directory out, and so I cold called all of my friends' parents, trying to sell them these kitchen knives. And so one of the Cutco customers that I had was my friend's dad, and he came to me when I was in college and he said, "Hey, would you like to come sell insurance for me? If you can sell kitchen knives, you can sell insurance."
Yeah.
And so I did that for a while and started to get a little burnt out of it. And he was like, "You know what? You should really get your real estate license." And I didn't really think I wanted to take another licensing exam.
Okay, fair.
I ended up taking a leap of faith and I did it and haven't really looked back since.
Gotcha. So I have a couple of follow-up questions.
Yeah.
First off, the Cutco knives, is that where you're going door to door to, or?
No,
Okay.
they encourage you to, reach out to your sphere of influence.
Gotcha.
So
Very typical of a realtor
that's
too.
it. Honestly,
Yeah.
there are so many parallels. I learned
Mhm.
so much doing that I take over into real estate.
Okay. Well, you started young, so that's
Right.
really great. I'm sure that set you up for success.
It did. You got to learn some principles.
Yeah. Keep going, even after 100 no's.
That's
I'm
right.
sure. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Perfect. So talk to me about your first year in real estate. What did that look like?
That one's tough. So my first year in real estate, I was a junior in college.
Okay.
So I didn't do a whole lot with my license. My senior year, I finally I think I sold one house my first year.
Okay.
And honestly, I'm just kind of now getting this aha looking back on it. How I got my first real estate client is kind of, I don't know, the story of my career. So my dad went back to school and finished his college degree at a later age in life.
Okay.
And so he had his, graduation party with a bunch of friends. And so I was at his graduation party, just, having a beer, talking to some friends, and come to learn that one of his friends just moved here from Texas and was looking to buy a house. And I was like, well, I just got my real estate license. And so,
oh, I love that.
Boom, that was my first client. And then I have just slowly built my business on organic relationships. And I can't tell you how many times I will go out or go to a Chiefs game or something like that, and I will run into someone I know and the conversation of real estate will come up.
That's incredible. So you didn't have to do necessarily the cold calling like you did with the Cutco knives.
No, I didn't. And I always did a really good job of putting my name out there on social media as I'm the real estate guy. So naturally people would call me when the time came.
That's amazing. So relationship building and paired with social media is how you built your business. Talk to me about what it was like transitioning to KW from where you were previously.
Yeah. So previously, I feel like I've kind of done a little bit of everything in my real estate career. I started out solo, and then I had the opportunity to go work for a developer and sell their new construction.
Okay.
And so I did that, and then I joined a team. And so then after I joined the team, then I came over to Keller Williams.
Okay.
But the team was fantastic for me. I've always said that I've learned something in each of those phases. That's kind of like, given me good career stepping stones.
Sure.
Being on the team, everyone on this team was selling between 10 and 15 million a year in volume.
Wow. That's a high-powered team.
So they were all, and there was, 5 of them. So
Okay.
very, tight knit. Everyone knows what everyone's doing. And so it was great for me to be in that environment of, hey, this is like these are the power players.
For sure.
This is what they do and how they do it. And it taught me so much.
Sure. I mean, I think too, in that scenario, it encourages you to level up.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. You kind of grow through osmosis, you
Right.
know, it's just your surroundings. So that was great. And my one concern with leaving a team like that was, am I going to have that same kind of collaborative environment wherever I go? And it's one of those leaps of faith you just have to take, because you don't truly know what an office culture is going to be like until you're in it.
For sure.
So it's like, you know, you can go and you can visit and you can talk to all the agents. And of course, you know, it's, you know, everyone's all smiles, but until you're actually there and, you know, immersed in the culture, you don't know what it's going to be like.
Sure. Is it the dog and pony show when I went in to go visit, or is this really how it is?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I was blown away with the people and how everyone cares about each other in this office. It feels like one massive team of 400 agents who are all happy to help you.
Absolutely. And, you know, through doing these podcasts and through my own experience, that holds true. Everyone says the same thing about how willing everyone is to help, even from the newest agents, to help you grow and build a business. There's enough business to go around. It's not like we're in competition.
100%. Yeah. Totally agree.
Perfect. So how has being a part of the office impacted your business? In
a huge way. So similarly to being on that team that I was on, I felt like I grew through osmosis the same way this office is. I mean, there are some really top level agents at this office.
Yeah.
And so being around them every day and being able to knock on someone's door and ask them a question helps out a ton. I love all of the, you know, bringing in a speaker for the business meetings and being able to learn from those people. So I think that's been a huge contributor to my growth.
Awesome. I love that. So I do want to just rewind for a minute about, you know, I guess the misconceptions of real estate. You got in super young, which kudos to you. And, you know, you made it work. Most people don't make it through their first 2 years, and here you are, super successful. What is something that, I guess, a piece of advice that you would give to someone young, maybe in college, looking to get started in real estate?
Yeah, I would say if you're young and wanting to get into it, I would look at everything as, you know, to your advantage. I think being young, there are a lot of advantages. I think a misnomer is people thinking that I'm too young to be taken seriously or advise someone on the biggest, you know, purchase or sale of their lifetime, which most of the time a home purchase is someone's largest financial asset.
Sure.
And so, I mean, there are so many people that are willing to mentor you. So if that is a, you know, an objection that a potential client has, it's like, well, hey, I've got someone who has 30 years of experience who's looking over my shoulder. And I think that's something that our office also provides, is that, you know, people willing to mentor you and help you. But yeah, ultimately I would say go for it. Just go for it.
Love that. I mean, you have to do it scared, right?
Yeah. Someone had to do it scared at some point, and they got over it. So I can't remember what it was. I always told myself something. I was like, it's because I'm young that I felt like it was an advantage for me.
I mean, so good for you. I can be honest and say that's not how I felt when I started. That was many years ago when I was young, but I didn't feel that way. I didn't have that confidence. And I think that's brilliant that you have that, especially with the marketing and the social media and how everything has changed so much, even over the past 5 years.
Totally.
And, you know, people like you really have a handle on that and can use that to your advantage.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. The confidence is a learned thing for sure. I definitely didn't have it when I started.
So looking back to when you did get your start, what was one piece of advice that you really took to heart that really you've carried throughout your career?
That's a good one. I think I've been lucky to have some really great mentors. The one principle, I guess it wasn't necessarily something that was always said, but my belief has always been, if you do what's best for your client, it's always going to work out for you.
So
As
true.
long as whatever you're doing is in the best interest of your client. And what, my thing was, I'm going to do this for a really long time.
Okay.
So my reputation matters.
Yep.
Selling someone a house today that's not the right house for them is not, and if they have a bad taste in their mouth about buying it, or the experience they had or whatever, and they didn't feel like I was looking out for their best interests, that would ruin my reputation and thus my career in the long end.
Sure.
So my thing has always been, a client today is going to be a client for life. So if I, would never want to sell someone a bad house, because I want to be able to list that house when they want to go and they want to buy another one.
That's such great advice. And I think that speaks to why you are so successful. It can be easy to, be someone not in the industry and look at how much money is being made because of, what we see on reality TV or social media, when in fact that's not the truth. The money, the success comes from taking care of the clients and putting the clients first, not just chasing after the next big deal.
Totally.
So that mindset is brilliant, and such great advice for anyone looking to get started in real estate too.
Yeah, 100%. And if that means that, you've got to have a part-time job or something to support yourself, it's like, if you have commission breath, people smell it so quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's like knowing that, you're fighting for your client and not the commission, I think makes the world of difference.
Absolutely. When you take care of people and do the right thing the right way, the money will come, the success will come.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So speaking of success, talk to me about, I know you have a really exciting opportunity coming up, and I want to hear more about that and how you nabbed that piece of business.
Absolutely. So I think you're talking about 909 Walnut.
Okay.
I think this is, when you talk about a trophy property, this is a true one-of-a-kind trophy property.
Okay.
So 909 Walnut is the penthouse at 909 Walnut is a 4-floor, 6,100 square foot penthouse in downtown Kansas City.
That's incredible. And unlike anything Kansas City has.
Totally. So the 909 Walnut building is literally in the skyline of the downtown Kansas City skyline.
Yeah.
It is the only building in the skyline that you can live in.
That's incredible. And if you can share with everyone,
sure,
just how this came to be, because I think that speaks to you serving clients and taking care of people the right way. So
absolutely. So I got in touch with the owner because some time ago I had a buyer who was looking for a downtown penthouse, and there are very few downtown penthouses. So long story short, he asked me, he said, "Hey, figure out who owns this property and see if they'd be willing to sell it." So I found the owner's info. I called him up and I said, "Hey, I've got a potential client." And we went over and we looked at it. We ended up not putting a deal together, but I just said, "Hey, if you still want to sell this, we can put it on the market." And so we've just stayed in touch for the last year and a half or so. And
year and a half.
Finally, yeah.
A year and a half. So, obviously the power, the success, it's in the follow-up. It's in the care that you bring.
100%. Yeah. I think it's easy to forget a conversation that you've had with someone one time, but if you follow up and I think there's a right way to follow up too. I think you've got to do it. You got to do it thoughtfully.
Yep. So,
sending something to someone that, say, "Hey, I read this article and it made me think of you," and sending it to them. I think
it's those little touches, those little surprise and delights.
Yes. Yeah. And it's that, that's why it's not automated. It's, it's personal and meaningful.
Fantastic. Now let's circle back though.
Yeah.
This is an iconic property. I'm assuming it's probably the largest listing to date.
I don't think so. I think I was just looking, there's one. So this is going on at 4.75 million. There was one I was looking today. I think it's like 5'9" or 5'7".
But the largest in your
One,
business.
yes,
Yeah.
1000%.
Okay.
Yeah, 1000%.
And how does it feel to reach this milestone?
It feels pretty good.
Yeah,
Feels
I bet.
pretty good.
I bet.
It'll feel better when I sell it.
For sure. So when is it going to be on the market?
So it'll go in pre-MLS on January 2nd.
Wow. Okay.
And it'll go live on the market sometime in April, although that is subject to change.
Gotcha. Well, super exciting, David.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see pictures of it, and I'm sure the city's going to be so excited.
I'm excited to share it with the world.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, speaking of, excitement, outside of this iconic property, what are you most excited for in the next year of real estate?
I'm really excited. I've loved to see how my business has grown the last, I love taking a look back on the previous year and even, multiple years after that and just kind of seeing, hey, what worked well? Where did my business come from? And then honing in on those things. So I would say the thing I'm looking forward to most is continuing that growth. I've always worked hard, but I've been lucky that I've always sold more than the year before. So I've always grown my business.
I don't think that's luck. I think that, speaks to how you run your business. And like we've talked about this whole episode, how much you care for the clients and doing the right thing. That's not luck.
Right. It's not.
Yeah.
So this, 2024 was a breakout year for me.
Okay.
I got the Breakout Agent of the Year award from The Office, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But obviously with that, it made 2025 a very steep mountain to climb.
Okay.
So 2025 was the first year I didn't sell more real estate than I sold the year previously. And that really bugged me. So
sure, but this was a tough year.
It was, but that's definitely added motivation for 2026 and seeing if we can top the 2024 number.
Gotcha. So is there anything that you're going to do differently, added, take away? What does the plan look like then?
So I have, like I said, I've always been organic about my business and I don't want to change that. But I think one thing I do want to do is be more purposeful in asking people for business and asking people for, I've never asked someone for a referral.
Really?
Every referral has just been organic,
yeah.
Which is fantastic. But I know there are probably some people out there who are like, oh, I would totally refer you. I just didn't know that you wanted or needed it. So that's,
can't be a secret agent.
I can't be a secret agent. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
cool. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me, and hopefully this podcast will help, you not be a secret agent anymore, and you can use it, for marketing or whatever purposes you want.
Yeah. No, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, David, we're so grateful that you came in today and can't wait to see what 2026 has in store for you.
Thank you, Katie.
Thanks.